It's a 1, a 2, and a 3. Hey now! Metal Mike coming at you. Yep, you betcha, but you better believe it. I'm not doing videos lately, but we're going to get back into it. I keep making promises. I keep preaching about it. Here I am. Let's start it with this one to begin with. First off, I want to give a shout out. Turn the music down here. Turn Venom down, which is just brutal, called Fallen Angels. Actually came out in 2011. Listening to it on vinyl right now. It is heavy as can be. All right, here's the deal. First, I want to give a shout out to the responses I've been getting in my comment box on YouTube. So, here's the deal. I got one from Casey, I want to think is his name, out of Colorado or Denver. Man, dude, I am so jealous. You tell me about this house, this old farmhouse that you're cleaning out, and you're digging through layers. It has been so many years since I have been in a situation like that. It just breaks my heart. Crushing. Where have I been? Why am I not doing videos? I've got 2 special needs children, number one, that have just really taken 95% of my time. I'm down to maybe 5% of time where I can do any type of work or even shoot videos and stuff is hard. Usually by the time I'm at the end of the day, I'm so wore out, I just seep into the chair and fall asleep. Plus I have a 2-year-old as well on the plate. So you're balancing those. Basically, I'm a caregiver for 2 kids and then also raising a 2-year-old that I'm hands-on involved with. So that's why my videos ain't out there. That's why you're not seeing a production level. But I have to step it up. I miss it, man. Especially Casey, you sent me that video. That comment about cleaning out that farmhouse. Man, I wish I was there with you. I cannot tell you. So to all you guys out there, man, that have the opportunity to get out there and pick. You know, I did it for, well, I've done it my whole life. But I did it seriously, 7 days a week for, 15 years straight. Just pounded it out. Now I'm in a different mode in life. I'm not able to get out there and drive that truck, hit the alleys like I was able to. So, man, to you guys out there that have the opportunity, do it, man. Get out there. Find that treasure. It is out there. You know, a lot of the excuses we come up with is, well, I don't have money. You can make money by getting out there and finding it. Number 2, I don't have money to buy anything. That's all right. The freest stuff is on the curb. It's free. And it's out there. You say, well, I drove around for 2 weeks straight and didn't find nothing. Yep, that's right. You're going to drive around for 2 weeks and find nothing. But you're going to drive around that one more day. That one extra day that you got out there. That one morning when you dragged your butt out of that bed and got out there. You're going to find a dumpster and it's going to be freaking packed. And it's going to set you up for a year. Inventory for a year. Remember, you get in a dumpster, you take it all. You don't sit there and dig through it in the dumpster. Grab every freaking box. Load it in there. Load it up. Get it out there. Get the treasure. So, man, I'm jealous. Dudes, I'm jealous. I wish I was out there. Wah! Can't get out there. So, let's get out here to the garage. Let's show you what we've been doing. In the meantime, I do, when I have time, let's get all these lights on. And, yeah, I'm pumped. Can you tell I haven't shot a video in a while? I'm just freaking on fire. All right, so I've been working, man. When I say 95% of my time is with the kids, yeah, that's correct. Totally. Where can I set this video? See, I don't even have a spot. Here we go. That's going to work perfect. But I'm constantly out here packaging my inventory. What does that mean? I'm breaking it down. Things I've rambled on about for years now about getting your inventory properly taken care of. Everything in tubs, everything organized somewhat, ready to sell. And then, of course, sell, sell, sell. I haven't gotten to that point yet. Look, last year I talked about selling these comic books. I still have not done it. All these boxes are full of comics, and the comics stacked on top. Now, there's a sleeper in there somewhere. This is a collection I picked up, hell, probably almost 10 years ago, maybe 7 or 8. But man, you got to do it tediously. I tried doing it in lots. I did 3 large lots, basically compiled of maybe a lot of 50 to 60 comics. I think 80 was the biggest lot I did. But it's very difficult because you have a 12 long shots on eBay, you know, and I'm going to go ahead now, as tedious as it sounds, I'm going to sell one at a time at 99 cents. That's going to be the starting bid. Now, a ton of them are not going to frickin' sell, and that's fine, because what's going to happen then? Those are going to go in a specific box that are going to go to the frickin' flea market, and then I'm going to sell the whole damn box for one solid price, and I'll move it out. And I'll make more that way, actually, than even if they sold for 99 cents. Now, I'm going to find some sleepers in there. There's some that are going to go for 20, 30, blah, blah, blah. That's what we hope anyway, right? That's what you do. You run that dirt, right, to steal that from Gold Rush. Here's another comment I got. I didn't know if it was a negative comment or if it was a positive comment to something I said. I'm too lazy to watch through the whole video that the comment was from, but I'll address it, I guess, on both ends. The comment was they wanted to know why, who are these, a lot of times on these picker shows you'll hear, well, I'm going to sell it between 50 and 150 bucks. There's a market for it. And the person's comment was, where are these people? These people are non-existent. No one's going to give you 150 for this. Yeah, I find that a lot on like that Storage Wars show. They'll do a lot of stuff like that. But they're just pumping numbers out there because they're calling it off the top of their head. And you can get those high prices if you sit on it and you're diligent and you're a good salesman. That's the #1 key. If someone doesn't trust you and you're not a good salesman, you can have the coolest thing in the world. No one will frickin' buy it from you. What else do I want to touch on? So, if that was addressing that, because I'll say that a lot in my videos. I'll have an item and I'll say, yeah, I'm either going to get between 25 to 150. There is a window in there. You know, there's the high end that you start is the price you're shooting for, which I shoot from the hip, being in the business so long. If it's something I need to do research on, well, hell, that's going online. But if it's local, it's Craigslist, I'm going to shoot it from the hip. And I'm going to call a high price, because it doesn't matter if I put the price on there for 250 bucks, because in the end, I don't give a shit what I got for it, because I have very low into it. That's, as long as you have low investment, you'll be fine. So if I pay 10 bucks for something, I put it on for sale for 250, and someone comes along and offers me 100 bucks after 2 months, I take the 100 bucks because I want it gone. Because now I've tested the waters. I've seen no one bid at 250. I've seen no one bid at 200. And then I dropped to 150, no one bid. So someone comes along and says, hey, I'll offer you 100. Boom, gone. She's out of there. What else do I want to touch on here? Remember, I'm always shooting straight from the hip. Yeah, that could be a downfall of mine, but hey, I feel I keep it pure. I don't like to be scripted on any level. Everything's inventoried. Let's kind of look around. I guess that's what we can do. Less talking, more looking. So here's a little bit of glass that I have up. This is just some miscellaneous crap that eventually maybe I will run some of it through eBay. And if it doesn't have a chip, you know, then I'll run it through eBay. Or if it's old, this Vaseline glass and this stuff is hot. These old cake stands, hot. If there's no chips, this one's got a nick in it though. This old creamer, I don't think there's a chip on that. Lots of crazing. Goofy stuff, right? But what I've tried to do is organize. I have all my albums right here. These are albums that are guaranteed to go for sale or just a little overflow. And then you'll see the tubs. These little cases like this, I don't mind them if they're this big because I can hold a ton of smalls in it, more your high-end smalls, maybe something really unique and you want to make sure that you it stays kind of in your eyesight. Another table full of junk here. I always grab, I think I got these out of a dumpster a few years ago. This is an old one though. You never know with these kids. I got a mannequin ready. I got a vintage dress on her with a Gene Simmons wig. And I've got a whole bunch of vintage clothing, and this dress here is minty. I think it even still has the tag with the belt, the skirt, the top. I'll put that on eBay and start that at 99 cents. Let it fly. I got a bunch of stuff like that. Here's my hideous baby. You guys have probably seen that before. But you can see the row of tubs. I've got them 3 high right here. The most I like to go now is 4 high. Originally I had them 5 high, but I have a slight slant in my garage, so they lean in and they do begin to buckle a little. Even though these are heavy-duty tubs. More inventory. Kind of the tail end here. A little bit of larger stuff stacked up down here. Can't see it, I guess. Too dark. But so we got everything in the tubs here. You know, I tried to cut down on this. Anything that I could fit in a tub that I didn't want to see, I put into a tub. I put all my high-end Tonkas up here that eventually I will sell. I'm not a huge Tonka lover. This is really cool. That's an RCA record display that holds a record. The record didn't come with it. After having it for 3 years, I figured out that a record sat in it for display in a store. I found that in a dumpster. This piece here. And actually the record too. So, here we go. We got more cool items, right? We've seen these before. We've seen these giant plaster women. I got this one and this one. Got this great old battle wagon. Look this up. This is a great piece. I had this online on Craigslist a few years ago for like about $150. Never was able to get it. Eventually, it's probably going to have to hit eBay. I just have always dreaded the fact of shipping something so big. Great old toy. Great old toy. Bunch of bayonets I'm getting ready to sell. Some swords. Great relic condition. What's that called? A bolo knife. World War I. U.S. Marine Corps, though. That's cool. Here's some real junk knives. These are actually really nice blades, these ones in here. I'm not going to pull them out, though. It's just too much work setting the flip camera down. But what the hell? I actually got these from a veteran who made them. Look at that one, huh? That's a big, nasty knife. Scary. I don't even like holding it. You say, why don't you like holding it, you wuss? I always fear slipping and cutting my freaking hand. Alright, man. You can see I'm still in the passion, still there, but really what this video I really wanted to get to is to Casey, man. Dude, I feel you. Brother, oh, I wish I was involved. It's been so long. The last really cool, I was thinking back, your comment made me think. You know, daily it was always finding stuff. I'm shutting lights down as I back out, guys. Bear with me with my horrible shooting. You know me, I suck at this. I just do what we do. Okay. So yeah, there was 1 year, I think it fell on a Thanksgiving, and my ex came and watched my 2 children I only had at the time, obviously. And hell, this was, I bet you it was, I bet you 15 years ago, maybe 14 at the least. What does that matter, right? Why do people do that? Why do they go, oh, it was either, let me see, it was 2008 or 2005. Let me see here. Why does that matter, huh? Let's just drop that from our conversation anymore. I'm sick of fucking telling how long it was ago. Every idiot talks like that. So, back to the point. There was this old man. I used to drive down the alley in the area that I lived in. This is 14 years ago. Like I said, every day. And there was this guy, and one day I stopped. Little old man. He's just dragging crap down the alley into this little garage. It's leaning. The door's cracked. And I stop, and he's dirty and greasy, and I go, hey, can I... He's got nose hairs frickin' this long hanging out of his nose. Snot dripping off the end of his nose. You guys have seen guys like this. Old men working hard. Don't give a shit how they look like. Eyebrow hairs, that always freaks you out on the eyebrow hair that goes all the way up to here, curled over. Pull that damn thing out. Clip those nose hairs. Ah, the horror. Okay. So, I introduced myself. I'm like, what's your name? I'm a junk man. I'm looking for old stuff. I see you love it too. You're dragging it in here. And he's like, yeah. I go, what's your name? He says, Mike. I'm like, Mike, that's my name. You know, I can't forget it. Pleasure to meet you. Can I look in your garage and see if there's something I could buy? He's like, yeah, go ahead. So I look into the garage, and he's got so much frickin' lumber stacked in there, as well as old stuff, that there's paths that are like this wide. So I'm shimmying through, and it's tunnels. And we're talking a single-car garage that has tunnels, because the wood is stacked everywhere. Low, overhanging, you wrap around the corner. I can't really see anything. I can't get past the wood. You wonder what's in, but these huge pieces of old lumber. Oh man, thinking back, I would have bought the damn wood if I only knew what I know now. But, so long story short, I don't find anything, and I bail. Then probably, you know, a year or two later, I'm driving down the alley, and there's these freaking guys in there. They got a dumpster out front, throwing shit in. I'm like, you're kidding me. So I quit going. I'm like, I pull the van over. I go, and his daughter is in the house. Now I know his name, so that's huge. I'm like, I knew Mike. Met him. I was like, I'm a junk man, you know. Is there any chance that I could go and dig? She's like, yeah. She's like, well, I'll tell you what. She's like, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. She's like, no one's going to be here. If you want to come, the garage will be open. You can go in there and dig. Oh. So I went there on Thanksgiving Day. It was the best Thanksgiving. It was just the best. It was what you dream of, man. I got in this garage, and they had pulled all the lumber out. So now all that was really was in there was maybe about knee deep of just junk. So basically, in that situation, you have to start in one corner, you know, and go through. And I'm digging, and I'm finding. I filled my whole truck. Just, oh, I wish I could go back. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure there was just tons of things that I passed on, or just didn't sell and get top buck, whatever. But man, so as I'm doing this, I'm like, I'm having the time of my. I feel like I'm 10 years old. And that's what you dream of, and that is the passion, because that's how it all began for me as a kid, being in a dumpster, an old house, and just finding these treasures. And at that point, there's no money. You're not thinking, well, I guess there is. You're thinking you're going to find something worth $1 million. That's, even as a kid, you're dreaming of that. But as I'm digging through Mike's stuff, I'm just like talking to him. I'm like, where is it, Mike? You know, this stuff's been there for 60, 70 years. And he had worked for the railroad too, I remember that now. So there was all these little things that would tie in. I think I got an old caboose stove and some old signs from a depot in Wisconsin. Oh, I just had tons of stuff. So there was an attic in the garage too. So I had to go up there, and I had a flashlight, and oh man, my truck was packed. So Casey, when I got your comment, that is exactly what I, oh dude, I envy. And I want you, and each time you get in a place like that, that's what runs through your head. Is this the last? Because those are really rare and far between. They're out there, don't get me wrong, but you got to put your nose to the grind. But when you get that unbothered pick, when you get to go into a house that is untampered with, no frickin' dealers have been in there, no family has come in and done the pitiful, they grab everything cool because they're going to sell it on eBay. You say, well, why are you angry? The family has the right to it. Yeah, but a lot of the time the family just grabs everything and thinks everything's worth $1 million and don't have and it sits in their freaking garage another 50 years and it gets sold at a garage sale for pennies on a dollar. So it's kind of, the reason you get angry about it is not because they're getting something. Don't get me wrong with that, my anger and that. But what I'm trying to say with that is because you know that a lot of things will slip through the cracks. That when you're into it as much as us pickers and collectors are, it really is saving a piece and getting it into the proper hands, you know. Yeah, you find these things that you don't want them, but you love the history, and you love holding it in your hands, you love saving it. And then, of course, after that those goals are achieved, the next goal, obviously, is to find where that goes, because there's a collector somewhere that will properly house these items, and that's what you want. You know, it's better. I love it when things go into a real good collection that stays, because that holds it, locks it down, and goes to, and then goes from. We're just holders, as I read once in a German collector book. We don't own none of these items. We are just holding them like until we pay, and it goes to the next generation. You're saving history, and that's what it's all about. Casey, I wish I was there with you, man. Oh, I dream that I get even one more of those houses in my lifetime. Here's another little tidbit. So I do have a left over from when I used to do the estate cleanouts. I still have some ads, I guess they're somehow online. And a woman called me today, and this is what I always found was the crossover. Because you want to do the estate cleanout because that's how you find the treasure. But I always kind of wanted to also say, hey, I buy stuff too if you have things of value, because they'll tend to sometimes pluck really cool stuff and take them to antique dealers who are going to burn them. At least I'm going to pay them a real fair price. These antique dealers, some of them are heartless, some of them are good, whatever, but you know, 90%. But there's a 10%, like the guy on Pickers. I think that's a good guy. He comes across to me, I feel I can judge character. Uh-oh. Garage coming, video done, baby's home, lockdown.